For thousands of years, people have regarded dolphins as intelligent and friendly. There are stories from the ancient Greeks describing dolphins that have saved the lives of sailors lost at sea. Few animals in the ocean have ever been so revered by people.
But what are wild dolphins really like? I mean, what do they do all day, and what do they think of people? Join me as I set out to learn the truth about wild spotted dolphins.
We're in the Bahamas heading north to a shallow area called White Sand Ridge. This area of open ocean has very shallow water, only about 30 feet deep. It's a favorite place for Atlantic spotted dolphins to hang out.
I'm aboard a boat called the Dream 2, run by Captain Wayne Scott Smith.
Scott, as his friends call him, is famous for interactions with wild dolphins. For over 20 years, he's been taking people to swim with wild dolphins. His personal relationships with some of the dolphins are legendary. I've come here along with some other divers to attempt the experience of a lifetime, swimming with wild dolphins. The hardest part about swimming with wild dolphins is finding them in the first place. In fact, the only way to find them is to let them find us. We head out into the White Sand Ridge area and drive the boat around until the dolphins arrive.
There! Dolphins are incredibly playful. In fact, they may be the most playful animals on Earth. And one of their favorite games is riding in the bow wave of a boat. The boat creates a pressure wave on its bow, and the dolphins get a free ride. It's almost like underwater surfing.
We've managed to find a friendly pod of dolphins. This pod is having a lot of fun playing in our bow wave. Now's the time to get ready to go into the water with the dolphins. Captain Scott puts the boat in neutral and we all jump off the back deck.
Go? All right!
The dolphins come racing over to investigate us, and suddenly we're surrounded by dolphins, each squeaking and clicking in excitement. In total confusion, the dolphins zip past this way and that, and we don't even know which way to look. Soon I can tell that the dolphins really like excitement. They seem to swim with the people that act the silliest underwater. They also love the underwater scooter that members of the crew use to keep their attention. But there is no doubt that the dolphins like Scott the best. When he gets in the water, several of the dolphins go to him and stay with him. He's been swimming with the dolphins for 20 years and knows over 100 dolphins by sight. He's given them names, and he can tell them apart by their unique spot patterns and scars. Even though these are called spotted dolphins, not all of them have spots. The younger ones have almost no spots at all. They don't start to get spots until they're about 4 years old. But as they get older, they get more and more spots until they have so many spots you can't tell where one spot ends and the next one begins. No two dolphins have the same spot pattern, so they can be used like fingerprints to identify individual dolphins. For over 20 years, Scott has been taking pictures of the dolphins and keeping track of who's who. In his extensive photo album, he has pictures of the same dolphin taken years apart.
There's about 88 of them in this catalog, but I maintain a catalog and computer of over 125 of them. A lot of the animals, their spot pattern changes as they get older, so it gets very difficult to keep track of the animals. It's almost like I have to take pictures of them yearly so as I can keep track of the spot changes, so as when they age, as some of like the older ones, I can still recognize them.
It's a lot easier to keep track of the dolphins that have what Scott calls permanent IDs. These are scars that don't change much over time, like the dorsal fin on this dolphin. Some of the dolphins that Scott has been following have gone from being calves to mothers to grandmothers. No matter what their age, dolphins seem to love to play. For dolphins, goofing off is a very important activity. But why are dolphins so playful? My theory is that they can play because they don't have to spend much time looking for food. Dolphins have a special sense called echolocation. By making clicking sounds and listening to the echoes that bounce back, dolphins can visualize in complete darkness as well as detect fish hiding under the sand. One of the favorite foods of spotted dolphins are razorfish, which dive into the sand for safety when a threat approaches. By using their echolocation, the dolphins can detect them hiding out of sight under the sand. Dolphins also eat squid that they hunt at night in deep water off the continental shelf. Because the dolphins don't have to spend much time looking for food, they have plenty of time to play. Dolphins are so smart that they invent games to play with each other. Scott once noticed that the dolphins were playing keep away with seaweed, and he thought it would be fun to join them. Now the dolphins play keep away with him using a bandana. He calls it the bandana game. Scott waves the bandana in the water to get the dolphins' attention. Soon they take it from him, and the game is to try to get it back. I find it incredibly amazing that these wild animals will interact with me like this. Can you imagine a lion or a bear out in the wild playing games with people? These dolphins are the underwater equivalent. This kind of thing only happens in the ocean. It's one of the reasons I love the ocean so much. We only get the bandana back when the dolphins get bored and decide to stop playing. Otherwise, they're just too fast for us. After a week of excitement playing the bandana game with the dolphins, I've learned one important lesson. Dolphins swim a lot better than I do. But they do seem to love to play, and they will even spend time playing with people. Although I must bid my new friends goodbye and head for home, I'll be back because this is one adventure that I need to experience again.
Woo! That was great!